Okay, so welcome back. I am doing a little needle turn demonstration here. This is how I like to do my needle turn applique, and I love my needle turn applique. So here's a bias stem that we prepared earlier. If you haven't seen that video, check that one out. It's up on my YouTube channel on how to do a bias stem. This is a 1/2 inch bias stem, and I'm going to show you the stitch I use to sew on my applique. It's the same one for bias stems as it is for shapes. So I've threaded up my applique needle with my bottom line thread. Now choose a thread that matches your applique fabric. That way you've got less chance of seeing it. So we're threaded up, and I'm going to put just a little knot in the end to secure it. So I'm going to show you how to turn this end under. So come up from the back side of the fabric, right on the very edge of your shape, and just pull it through. The knot's just starting to catch. Now I'm going to go straight down from that position into the background and come up on the very edge just to secure that like that. So that's nice and strong, that's not pulling out now. So it's the same stitch all the way. Wherever your thread is, you're going to go straight down. Don't come across there or backwards, straight down below it. That way there's less thread showing on the front side, and that's the whole idea. So I'm going straight into the background. I go along, I don't know, maybe 2 millimeters, probably 1/8 of an inch if you're imperial measurement person, and little stitch, and you come right up on that folded edge. And that way you're going to see less of it. Now every so often, probably about every inch or so, I like to do a little locking stitch, which is where I just go on top of myself like that, and that way I don't pull it by mistake and gather it up. Now we're getting a bit close to the corner here, and we've got to tuck that end under, because that end in this applique pattern is exposed. So I'm going to sew right up to where I want to turn under, and that's the corner I'm at now. Now whenever I get to a corner, it could be a point on a leaf or anything like that, I then make a little stitch out from that corner. Now it's so tiny you don't see it, but it gives me a nice anchor point to pivot off. So now I can pivot this underneath. See how it's pivoting off that stitch? I'm going to do that again for you. So I've got a nice sharp needle, which is really important because it hangs onto the fabric, and I'm just pushing it around underneath. I like to call that the windscreen wiper motion, because you're swinging it around like your windscreen wipers go on your car. And I'm going to tuck the rest of this under because it's only narrow till I have the straight end that I want. There's my end. I'm happy with that, and I'm just holding that with my thumb. Now I'm going to stitch along the end till I get to the other corner. Now keep your stitches close together, particularly when you've turned something under at a corner, because if your stitches are too far apart, that little tucked under piece can poke out the side, and you don't want to see that. So here I am back at the corner. Turn that around again because I need to hold it like this. Now see that bit sticking out? Now I'm going to do my stitch out from the corner. My little anchor point makes it nice and strong, and I'm going to use my needle to push that underneath. See, that's disappeared. That's why your needle needs to be strong without too much flex, and sharp. If it's nice and sharp, it really will hold on to that fabric as you push it underneath. And then I would stitch my way all the way down the bias stem until both sides are done like that. Now I'm going to flip it over. You can see the size of the stitches there. Quite tiny. Okay, so I'll go ahead and finish that bias stem, and then we'll tune back in and have a look about how to sew a leaf. Okay, right, we're going to put our leaf on now. I've positioned it here based on the design by Jan Patek that I'm doing. So what I've done with all my shapes, and here they are that I've prepared earlier, is I've traced all the shapes from the applique onto freezer paper. You just put your freezer paper over the top and trace the line. I use a pencil. It's very easy. Now your freezer paper's got a slightly glossier side. You'll find that the pencil doesn't work very well on that side, so you can't really get it back to front. If the pencil's not working on your freezer paper, turn it over, trace on the other side. So we've traced all our shapes, and they're all separate. So I haven't traced the wing on top of the bird. The wing has to be a separate shape all on its own. Then you place them on your fabric, your chosen applique fabric, and you iron it on. So the glossier side will be against the right side of your fabric. You iron it onto the right side of your fabric and then cut out your shape 1/4 inch bigger all the way round than the freezer paper. Now, if you have an inside curve, you see this bird here, see how that's a concave curve? When you turn that edge under, the fabric needs to spread out. So I've gone along here and I've snipped, don't know if you can see them, I've snipped in here, almost up to the freezer paper. So when this edge is turned under, if I turn it under like that, you can see on the back side how it needs to spread out. See where I've snipped? It spreads out. If you don't snip the seam allowance in an inside curve, you've got no chance of getting it turned under. It will buckle and everything. You don't need to do that on an outside curve, because when you turn it under, you've got more fabric than you need. You need actually less, so we have to work on how to make that smooth. So I've prepped all my shapes, traced my freezer paper, cut it on the line, ironed it onto the right side of my fabric, cut my fabric bigger, and here's my leaf positioned, ready to go. Now I'm just going to use one of my applique pins to pin that on. Sometimes I use glue based it, kind of depends what mood I'm in really, I think, but I usually do my leaves like this, it's nice and quick. So I pin it in the middle because I'm turning this fabric under and that pin won't get in the way. So let's work up to the point. So I'm going to come up just through the applique fabric, not through the background at this stage, just up on the edge of the freezer paper like that. I've already tied a knot in my thread and just catch it like that. Get the end out of the way. Now, this is where your pointy needle comes in handy. Use the edge to turn it under to the edge like that. Now, I'm just grabbing that between my thumb and my forefinger, just holding it. Now, let's do a little locking stitch. Straight down into the back ground fabric, and that's not going to pull out now. We're just going to use our needle to push that under till we're happy with our shape. See, if I put my needle on that seam allowance, I can move it back and forth, back and forth. You will know when your needle is too blunt. You can't make that happen. See, I'm going to bring this out a little bit here to a nice rounded shape. And I'm going to use the same stitch I used to sew on my bias stem. Straight down, along 1/8 inch, couple of millimeters, and I'm folding under probably 1/2 inch in front, sometimes 1 inch. It really depends on the shape that you're doing. Bigger shapes with straighter edges, you can kind of work a bit further ahead. Now see, I just manipulate that under until I'm happy. I'm using my freezer paper as a guide. Now some people trace their freezer paper shape onto the fabric with a pencil, and then they take the freezer paper off, and that's fine. You know, if that's working for you, terrific. I don't do that because I don't need to. It saves me a whole job. If I just leave my freezer paper on there and use it as a template, there's no need for me to trace with pencil around the edge. And also I find pencil gets a little bit grubby on your fingers, and then that's transferred onto the backing fabric or the lighter fabrics, and I just don't really need to do that. So I'm sewing right up to the point of my leaf. Here I am right at the point. And just like I did with this end, I like to do my little stitch out from the point. This is my pivot point, like so. Now I've got to get this seam allowance, oops daisy, this seam allowance tucked under here. Now I'm thinking I've got a bit too much fabric here. So I'm just going to use my scissors. This is where your sharp pointy scissors come in handy, just to trim off that little excess because I just don't need it. And now here comes our windscreen wiper stitch. Fold it around like that, and it comes right around to the side of the leaf, and I'm going to do another little stitch at the end to hold that in place because I'm pretty happy with that. And then take this bit, use your needle and push it under, just like that. I'm just holding it in like that. Now, Needleturn Applique really is a practice skill. It's a fine motor skill. When I was a school teacher, one of the things we learnt about motor skills was that they take practice and feedback, but they also, believe it or not, take a little time away from the skill for your brain to process the skill. So in actual fact, once you've been practicing, you can go away for a bit. When you come back to it, you will actually be a little bit better than when you stopped sewing the first time. So let your brain just think about it and practice, practice, practice. And when you get it, you'll never lose it. It's like riding a bike. So I'm just working my way down the side of my leaf with our applique stitch, which I'll just remind you is straight down from where you are, along in the backing, and then up. You can see that leaf really coming along. It doesn't matter that I'm using a black thread and I've got white print on this fabric. You'll notice the fabric on the white, there's little black lines anyway. You're not really going to notice it. You have to pick a thread that coordinates, matches your applique fabric as close as possible. So there is more black in this fabric than there is white, so black is my choice. Just keep stitching along. I want to show you another point. Now I'm just turning it under there. Now there's also another way people do applique, is they put their freezer paper on the wrong side of their fabric, and then they sort of turn the edges over the freezer paper because it's hiding in the back. But then you have to get it out. So then they cut the background a little bit and they slide it out through there. Now that sort of frightens me a little bit because I kind of think it's a weak spot. So that's why I do my freezer paper on the top side. And the other benefit, now I'll get back to that, but here with my point, I've done my little anchoring stitch. See, I've got quite a bit of seam allowance there. I can cut that out with my pointy scissors. Just reduces that bulk there. So now I'm going to swing this around, windscreen wiper motion, put your needle in there, swing it around, and we've done our stitches nice and close together up the side here, so it isn't going to stick out, which is super important. And then away we go. Now, as I was saying, if you do it this way, and you might have to do, say, 50 leaves, the beaut thing about using freezer paper on the top side is you can get about 3 or 4 sticks out of one piece of freezer paper, which means you stuck it onto a fabric once. Once you peel it off, you can re-stick it another 3, maybe 4 times. So you don't have to make as many leaf templates if all your leaves are the same. And that's a real bonus. If you don't have to trace and cut out all that freezer paper so many times, you're on a winner. Saves you a bit of time. So I'm almost back to the beginning. I just want to show you how I end off. Here we are, back to where we started. I'm going to take out my pin, peel off my template. There's my leaf. Now I'm just going to go straight down into the background fabric. You can see how little the stitches are. And I'm just going to do a few little back stitches into the background fabric, and it's also sort of grabbing the seam allowance a little bit. And I just work my way, and then I thread it through like that and just snip it off. So you can see the size of the stitches, and there's my leaf done. So all I have to do is finish up the rest of my shapes, which I'll do in exactly the same way. Thanks for watching, and happy stitching.